When starting university, it's surprising how bills, groceries and washing can cost so much. It's important to be able to budget appropriately so that you don't struggle and so that you can spend some of it on social activities too. If we bring it back to the beginning, I'll give a quick overview of student finance. Student finance is split into tuition and maintenance loans. Your tuition loan is to cover the course costs and maintenance is to help with living, including accommodation, food and utility bills. The tuition loan should cover your course costs, but it is important to look into your living costs and budget accordingly so that your maintenance loan will stretch as far as possible. You can keep up to date with Student Finance England over on their website, which I'll link below. You might find it useful to get a part-time job to reduce the pressure of finances, allow yourself to get involved in more extracurricular activities, and consider how you can make your money last. Careers Network has some great resources to help you find part-time work in the local area. And don't forget there'll be paid opportunities on campus too. You might also find it difficult to budget to begin with, and this is completely natural. There will possibly be items that you've never had to consider paying for before, but the sooner you start putting a budgeting plan together, the easier it will be to see what money you have left over and how you can spend it. Consider having a calendar up in the household where you can add in all the payment dates such as rent and utilities to help you all keep on track of spending. Remember as well that things like heating bills are likely to be higher in the winter than the summer months. Think about the best way to budget. Is it a spreadsheet, a notebook, an app on your phone? We have some links to budgeting templates to help you decide what's best for you. And don't forget about insurance. When coming to uni, you might have a lot of new, recently purchased equipment such as laptops and appliances. It's well worth getting this insurance. Companies like Money Supermarket and Uswitch can help you to compare the best provider for you. Think about setting up a student bank account. It's worth shopping around as some banks will offer incentives such as rail cards to knock money off your travel. I know I took advantage of this and it meant that my travel home was so much cheaper. Most banks will now have apps as well to help you with online banking, but it's worth factoring in how they differ and what each app offers, as it can make it easier to manage your finances and see where you might need to budget. Try not to use your overdraft. It can form bad habits and is also very difficult to get out of once you get into it. You might find it useful to have separate bank accounts as well, with one that contains money for bills and expenses and the other for personal spending. Some tips that we would suggest is to think about bulk buying non-perishable items such as pasta, rice and detergent, and to shop around for bargains. Fortunately at Loughborough there are a choice of cheaper supermarkets that are easily accessible as well. There are lots of activities happening on campus in the Freshers Week and money can involve a small cost to you. These can be great activities to get to know people and wind down after a day of lectures, but don't feel obligated to take part in all of them. And bear in mind your budget. You can also organise free alternate events to enjoy with friends, such as movie nights round each other's or arranging pub quizzes. If you're planning to go out for meals with friends, take a look at the menu costs beforehand and decide what you can afford. Decide whether it's most affordable to pay for your individual items as well or all together. If you're going out, try and set a budget. Perhaps leave your bank cards at home and just take the cash out that you want to spend, but don't forget to put aside some taxi money. In terms of course books, you will find lots of students selling their previous versions for cheap, and there may be some that you can get from the library rather than purchasing them. Take a look at the student discounts and loyalty cards on offer for things like food, device and clothes. You might find that a lot of junk mail comes through your door, but it can be an idea to sift through it as there can be some great discounts to be found. Don't forget to factor in one-off spends too, such as presents and activities for birthdays, travelling home and celebrating holidays or special events. You'll also need to remember hidden costs such as paying for a TV licence. If you are worried about finances at all though, please talk to Student Advice and take a look at the information on their website. So what budgeting tips do you think will be helpful to you? And do you have any more tips to add?